Well, new developments to tell you about tonight. Take a look at this sketch. It was just sent to us by Spokane police. This is a person of interest in yesterday's fatal South Hill shooting, and officers aren't sure if it's a man or a woman. Regardless, they say they need your help finding this person. If you recognize him or her, call Crime Check. The number's right there on your screen. We've also just learned today the identity of the person killed in yesterday's attack. 49-year-old Danette Kane is the woman who was shot to death. She owned the Westview Manor apartment building. Tenants at the complex say the other victim who was shot was a manager. Tonight, he is in the hospital in critical condition. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Nadine Woodward. The killer in that shooting still on the loose. And today police are out trying to track that person down with a canine team. KXY4's Caroline Flynn is on the scene where the shooting happened on the lower South Hill with our continuing coverage tonight. And Caroline, you spoke with the victim's son earlier who said he was there when his mother was shot.
Yes, Danette Kane's son was with her at the apartment building yesterday when the shooting occurred. Today, he was understandably in shock and didn't wish to speak with us on camera, but did tell me that he and his mother were set to drive to Montana yesterday morning and that they decided to stay in Spokane because of the bad weather. You never think it's going to happen in your town, on your street, or at your apartment building.
This is really a peaceful neighborhood.
Rick Schmidt has called Westview Manor home for 8 years. When he got back from work last night, he thought something had happened down the block.
I didn't know anything until this morning at all. I wasn't even sure that it was at these apartments, let alone that I knew
Rick is talking about one of his closest friends, Mike, a hardworking manager at Westview Manor, who was shot in the head last night near the building's carport. The owner of Westview Manor was found shot dead in a stairwell outside of her apartment.
Just regular people. The woman is the owner, and the gentleman is the manager of the apartment, a good friend of mine. I've known him for about 30 years.
He knows what it sounds like. There was probably an angry resident. But Rick says no one that lives at Westview Manor matches the description given by police. A black woman between the ages of 30 and 35. Occasionally, some unfamiliar faces do pop up in the area, though.
This is private property, and often people will be counseled to not come down here. A lot of people want to come and appreciate the view. Despite
the shooting yesterday, Schmidt says he isn't living in fear.
I'm not afraid of the neighborhood. I've lived here for a long time. I lived up the street for 20 years prior to this. I'm concerned that they haven't been able to find her yet. It's my understanding that someone saw the person take off that way.
That way was toward the beautiful view, where we found Spokane police officers and their canines retracing their steps, making sure they missed nothing as they search for a killer. If you have any information on yesterday's shooting, if you recognize a person in that composite sketch that we showed earlier, you're asked to call Crime Check on the number that's at the bottom of your screen. Live outside of Westview Manor tonight, Caroline Flynn, KXLY4 News.
Police really need the public's help tonight. Thank you for that, Caroline.